On Saturday, Donald Trump suggested that we may actually commit war crimes in Iran if Iran decides to retaliate against the United States after we assassinated their general, Qasem Soleimani. Donald Trump tweeted out the following. He said, "Let this serve as a warning that if Iran strikes any Americans or American assets, we have targeted 52 Iranian sites representing the 52 American hostages taken by Iran many years ago. Some at a very high level and important to Iran and the Iranian culture. And those targets and Iran itself will be hit very fast and very hard. The USA wants no more threats." Well, what Trump just did there is actually a threat. It's a threat to commit war crimes in Iran. Targeting cultural sites in any country is a war crime. And there's several different statutes that say that. First and foremost, you have the Hague Convention of 1954 that the United States is a part of that explicitly says you can't hit cultural and historic sites. You also have United Nations Resolution 2347, which condemns the unlawful destruction of cultural heritage, including the destruction of religious sites and artifacts and the looting and smuggling of cultural property from archaeological sites, museums, libraries, archives, and other sites, notably by terrorist groups. It's also a violation of Protocol 1 of the Geneva Conventions, which prohibits you to commit any acts of hostility directed against the historic monuments, works of art, or places of worship which constitute the cultural or spiritual heritage of peoples, to use such objects in support of the military effort, and to make such objects the object of reprisals. So it's very clearly spelled out in multiple different conventions, resolutions, things the United States is part of, things that emerged after World War II when we saw the mass destruction of historical and cultural sites, mainly over in Europe. We saw the looting of museums. We saw the destruction of places of worship. And the world got together after that and said, you know what? We lost parts of our history, parts of our culture that can never be gotten back. Let's make that a war crime. But Donald Trump doesn't care. Donald Trump doesn't care about any of that. And he wants the world to know it. Because after he tweeted this on Saturday, he doubled down on it again later after the huge public backlash emerged. Here's the thing. You have Boris Johnson right now over in the UK, good friend to Donald Trump, loves the guy. They love each other. He came out yesterday evening and also said, yeah, you can't do that because that is a war crime. And Trump didn't care. Trump reiterated his threat to attack these cultural sites in Iran. At this point, it's not even necessarily a matter of will Iran respond? Are they going to retaliate? It's a question of when. They announced yesterday they're pulling out of the nuclear agreement. They're no longer going to be a part of that. The U.S. had pulled out over a year ago, so of course Iran pulling out of it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot right now, but there actually were other countries that were involved in that. And Iran, up to this point, had been complying with it. But because the United States, we were the architect of this agreement, we pull out of it, we attack them, we basically left them with no choice at this point. And that's not me siding with Iran over the United States. That's common sense. We are the aggressors here. We are the bullies here. We are the people not upholding our part of the bargain. And it is 100% Donald Trump doing this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he's also threatening to commit war crimes if he's not stopped immediately. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.